Hello and welcome to another Nikomedia tutorial. So today we will recreate one of my recent renders, and this was this one here. And I got some requests for this because people want to make a greetings card for holidays or something else. And I thought, yeah, I will show you how to do this. And I will show it for Octane and physical render because many people have problems to render glass, and I am a little curious about this because it's really not it's not complicated. And I will show you this, and it's not only this is an Octane render, but we will get in physical render we will get almost the same result. So, and later on we will do this, and later on we will just refine it a little bit in Photoshop. But this color keying here, we do all in Cinema. So with the black and white here and just the colors here, this we do in Cinema. And this is quite easy, you will see. Okay, let's start. We start, of course, I start to make a glass here. So, I do it from scratch and take a cylinder, and the bottom of this glass is, let's say, radius of 3 centimeters should be fine. 0.5, now here 1.5 here. No, 8 segments and height 0.5. This is it. This is what I want. And even smaller here, 0.3. 0.3. Okay. Now I make this guy editable. Go to my cylinder, select it, and hit C on the keyboard. So now we have this editable, and we can play with this, you see. Good. So I don't need. Let's start here with a UL for a loop selection here, and then I for in extrude. And this is where I want to start to go up a little bit with my. It's easier to make this from the side, or in the front in this case. So you see I have an in extrude here. Now I bring this a little higher here. So something like this. Then I hold my control key and drag it up so I can extrude this a little bit. T for scale, scale is down, so something like that. Extrude it a little bit again. T for scale, scale it down, and maybe again E for move tool and scale this up here. We can change here later the shape, this is no problem. T for scale again, and this, yeah, okay. Something like that should be fine. Now I E again, and I go up a little, so something like that. Maybe a little higher, so. Okay, now make some small details here, go up a little. T for scale, scale it up a little. So it's just how do you like it. So you can do this with a loft knob with a loft as well. So you can draw a spline and put it in the loft, but I prefer this. And so T for scale. Then E. And then again here, T for scale, E, T for scale, E for move, control, drag it up, don't forget the control key to drag it up, so something like that. I wanted about the size of the bottom here, so let's go out a little bit here. Drag it up here. UL in the edge mode and select this edge here. UL, so, and T for scale and scale. Oops. I'm in the axis mode here, so go out of the axis mode. With L, you go in the axis mode and you go out as well. So this should be fine. Maybe put this a little up here and UL and put this up here a little. I forgot the point in the middle, but we don't need the point here now. Let's delete it. Just delete this point and we work with edges. Okay. Now I drag this edge up a little bit. So, okay, that looks nice. E for move tool, hold the control key and move it up a little bit. So something like here maybe. T for scale. E. So something like that. And again, T for scale. And we have a nice shape of a glass here, I think. Maybe it's a little too... UL. Select with... I hold my shift key to add selections, you see. And maybe T for scale. And I want to scale just in the X and in the Z axis, not in the Y axis. So I hold my, I go to the green, to the Y axis here and hold my shift key. So this selects the other two axes and now I can just translate, just transform the X and the Z axis. So yeah, this looks better, I think. Okay, nice. Now let's go take this one. If you double click an edge, most of the cases it makes a loop selection. Not every time, but most of the cases it makes a loop selection. So T for scale, and now I hold my control key and scale it down. So you see, and with the control key I get here some thickness for the glass. Take it something like here, okay. Now the move tool again, hold my control key, drag it down, T for scale, and I see that we are something like parallel here, so this E, move down, another E and move down, so go to here, T for scale, okay, E, control key, T for scale, and scale it down. This should be fine, and here I close it. With MD I close this hole. MD is close polygon hole. You see, we can close it. Okay. And with KK I take the knife tool and make here two cuts so that I have quads here. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a quad. Quad. Everything is a quad. And now we have a nice shape, and this shape should look quite nice in the subdivision surface. Let's go to our cylinder, Alt click on the subdivision surface, and you see we have a nice glass here. Perfect. So easy it could be, but you see, because of the subdivision surface, this looks not really nice here. So let's make some cuts here. So I make here in the edge mode, I make a plane cut with KJ. If you have older versions, you just hit K on the keyboard for the knife, and then you can select the plane cut here. And I make a cut not here. So okay. And this should give us nice roundness here. Yeah, that looks much better now. If you have this clipping problem here, simply go in your project settings with Ctrl D And in the project settings you have here, whoops, view clipping. Let's go here to small, and then you see you get no problems anymore. We can put our subdivision surface to 3 here. Looks nice. So the same we should do here on the bottom. Oh, that looks not bad, but here I want to do something. First I want to drag up this point here a little bit. This gives us a nicer shape. So let's go to the side, or in the front in this case. Drag this a little up here. Okay. Now MS for a bevel. I bevel this, and here I make the cuts as well, KK, so that I have my quads here. Okay, now we should have a nice mesh here. Yep. And here let's make 2 loop cuts to have this round edge again. KL for a loop cut, and I make a loop cut around here and around here. Let's see how this looks. Okay. I think we can be satisfied with this. Maybe let's bring these edge points here, UL for loop selection, here and here, and I drag them a little down here. So let's make this E for the move tool and just drag them a little down, so it's not so thick. Yeah, this I like more. Okay, you see I prepared the file already, so sparkling wine tutorial. So save, and we have our glass here, which is nice. With NI you can show just the isopalms here. NH you go back, or you simply put an display tag on here. So render tag, display tag, use, and say here grow shading lines, and here isopalms. So you don't have the isopalms on every object you bring in. Save. Okay. Now let's make a glass material. So I can show you how easy it is to make a glass material. You have to do nothing. But the glass, it's important that you have a nice environment. What can to have something to reflect in the glass. So let's go to here, and I of course take my scene rig, but in Octane as well as in physical render, you can take a sky object and put an HDRI or something else on it, and this would work as well. So, but I of course take my, I should bring it. You see, I have the standard layout. Normally I have everything in my toolbar, but user scripts, Nikomedia scripts, insert Octane rig. We should be on the floor here. We will see it. And Octane rig, if we had hit render now, let's go to the live viewer. And now let's make a material, an Octane material, Octane material, we need a specular material. I go in here and make, I want in the node editor of course. But you see, we have just a specular. What I want in the index, I want to make a glass index with 1.517 and drag it on our cylinder, and we have a glass. But you see, this does not really look nice here, and the optic, the need a camera here. Let's make camera. This is here. Dialogue. Bring the dialogue something like here. Okay. Objects, octane camera, and the camera I want something 80 here. This is a nice view of me. Okay. Good. And do you see this black, this dark shadows here? We can avoid this when we simply go to our material here, and in the common we activate the fake shadows, and then we get the class here. Okay, and it looks not really nice because of the HDRI what's inside of it, because we have a very simple studio light. This is just for a quick rendering. But if we go to the Octane Rig, you see here, this is a normal studio light. We can rotate it a little bit so it looks a little better. And in the glass, I every time take a little dispersion. It makes it much more natural, in my opinion. So let's go to little dispersion. You can go all the way up. You see that you have to test it, but I always take little bits, something like that. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, our glass is not on the floor. Let's go to this, to the cylinder, and drag it up a little bit. So now that looks much better. Good. And with a different HDRI, you will see it looks far better than so. But so let's make this. Yes. I hide this rig in the editor. So yeah, let's give it a different HDRI. I will take the same as I took in the tutorials, in the project file. You can already download the project file for this on Patreon, and I have it, let's see, wherever, desktop, Octave, sparkling wine, octane, okay, and I will drag in here the HDRI. I'm gonna drag in this one. Yes, bring it in. And this looks immediately much better. And just rotate it a little bit. Yeah, in the project file, of course, you have the same thing here. Look for nice spot you like. And of course we need something like a table here, so I go to a disk, make a disk. I have to go to here, the rig, and disable the floor here. And that looks nice. The disk should have some segments here, and of course should be smaller, T for scale, and scale it down to around here. Okay, I think that looks nice. Maybe a little bigger. Okay, that's for now. Now let's make a fluid, of course. So like this, and we go. Let's make the camera here. So, rigging tag protection, okay. and hide the camera. And now the fluid. Boop, 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 boop. I hit NQ to hide the textures here. For the fluid, I go to my cylinder and I select UL for loop selection, select this, and UF. UF means fill selection. You see, it fills the rest inside. I hold my shift key that I can add this selection here. So, and with UP, I split this selection from the glass, from this object. UP, and you can name this fluid. And the other one is the glass. Save it. Good. Now I hide the glass for a moment. And you see this. So let's hide the disk for a moment as well. The fluid, of course, should be closed on top. So here, fluid. And you see, the normals are in the wrong direction. I need the orange ones out of the glass, of this object. You can invert this with UR or right click and reverse normals, UR. And this is what I want. Then again, MD for close polygon hole. Now I select my polygon hole here. I for inner extrude, extrude it a little to the inside, just a little bit. And I drag this down a little bit just to simulate something like an, how is it called now? How is, you know it, this is the tension, the, yeah, surface tension. That's so, then again a little bit, and then I go to the inside. Okay, and here again I make some cuts, KK, for the, to have my quads again. Okay, let's see how this looks when we put it in the subdivision surface. So we have here the glass, and select, I'll make a new null here. Null, name it glass with 2 S in English. So get here and bring this to, so the subdivision surface works on the everything what is in this null object. And let's see what we get. Get something like this, and I think I like it. Okay. Bring back the glass as well. This is maybe a little too much here. Yeah, the fluid should be not so high. So let's go to the NQ here as well, and I go to the fluid, and I will cut the fluid somewhere like here. How full you want the glass, it's on you, but I think it's okay for me here. So KJ for a plane cut, and I cut it here. Whoops. Okay. Now with the 0 key on the numpad, I have the rectangle selection. Only select visible is off, so I can select all the points on top here and delete them. And now I have to close this again. MD. Okay. Then we go here. I for a little inner extrude for this surface tension. Bring it a little down. Again, I a little bit, and I more. Okay. KK. Whoops, 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 whoops. Okay, and this again should look fine. Okay, like it. And bring the glass back and go in the camera and make a render. And we have our fluid here. But you see, we have some distortion here. So let's go a little closer here. We have a little problem here. That looks not nice. This is, you should, if you do something with fluids, you should see that the fluid just intersects a little bit with the object outside. So to do this in post, it's, you could, here we need just a little bit, so you can take the fluid and just T for scale and be aware that the axis in the fluid is always in the center when you do something like this. So go to your center, X center tool, that's the tools. Where is the axis center tool here? Tools, mesh, axis center here. And execute. So now you see we have the center in the middle. And you simply can drag it a little bigger, so go drag it a little up, you see 100.6, and now we don't have any distortion. But I tried, I go back one step. I do this normally with the nice thing here. It's called the Pi Parametrics tool and the Pi Move modifier. This is great. So I selected my fluid, you see it, I hold my shift key so that this modifier will become a child of this fluid. You see immediately it gets way bigger. This is not what I want. And it works on everyone here. So let's hide the glass here and disable this. Now when I do this, it makes everything bigger. This is not what I want. So I go to my fluid, UL, and I select just the polygons I want to be affected. And UF to fill selection. Okay. Make a selection tag now. So select and set selection. Yep. And here I can drag in this selection tag. Now this works only on this selection, and this makes it exactly bigger like I want it. And I can do it totally, I can change everything later on too. So when I go now to my glass thing here, render this, and now I can see, so point one, I hold my Alt key and click on this arrow here, so I get small steps. You see immediately that works, but maybe I don't need so much. Go 01. This is too less, I still see something here. Go to 02. And this works. This is exactly what I want. Okay, save it. So now we have this here. Looks a little weird here. But we know that is okay, but we need some texture on the floor here. So, and I use the same texture I used in the project file. So I have it here in my Shift F8 in my content browser. And the DB, not here, it's here. And the Octane textures, you will find them all on the Patreon site. The Patreons can download it. So, and this will be every when I make new ones, I edit, and you will get always the same like I have here. You see, this is not so many, but in the PR render there are many more meanwhile. And you can download everything on the Patreon site, and so you have the same textures like me, and should it should be easy to follow then. So I have this on the stones, and I use this terrazzo here, drag it in here, and simply drag it on our disk. Okay, it's a little much of the extrude, so also the displacement. So let's go inside here. The node editor, you see it is very easy set together. So you simply go to the displacement here, go let's say to 0.5, and this looks much better. And to have this black and white thing, I go to the image texture here. If you open, you see it here. This is the image texture. And instead, in Octane, I do it like this. And instead of normal here in the type, go to float. This will make a black and white picture of this. And the same we do with the background picture here. So I go in my rig, HDRI, and the type normal to float, and we have it black and white. And it starts to look really, really nice already. Let's rotate this a little bit until we find a nicer spot maybe. So. Yeah, that looks nice. That looks nice. Okay. Save it, and now we wanna make some, make the color here. With the bottle and the fluid we come a little later. And oh no, let's make the bottle and the fluid first, and then let's texture all together with the blue fluid. First, what we can do is we put in some, the bubbles we can do later as well. Let's make the bottle thing. Go out of here. So. And the bottle, I did not model the bottle. I found something in the content browser. Shift F8. Here, go to here, presets, search, and use not bottle. And here we have some bottles, and we have here a wine bottle which I used. So I simply drag the wine bottle inside, because why should I model one if you have here a nice one? This is made by Pavel Zoch, you see, AK Bzdm. And let's hide our, let's take the bottle and drag it out to the side. No, I want to drag it just side, not to hide. And I don't need anything in here, so I need just the bottle. And what do I need? So, and the wine. This is the fluid, and I don't even need the fluid. We do our own fluid here. Well, let's see. Drag both out of it, and the rest I can delete. So I have now here the bottle, and if here I have the fluid. And now let's make our own fluid. It's very simple. We go to our bottle, to his bottle, to Pavel's bottle, and yeah, you see here already the inside is selected. So here I can simply go with UY to grow the selection, UY until I think it's okay. It's UK to go back. So this should be okay. And again UP to split this, and we have the bottle fluid. Let's name this glass fluid. Okay. Sorry, I have to make a short break. I'm back in a second. You won't realize it. Good, here am I. again. So we have our fluid now here. Nice. So let's bring that bottle and the fluid in a null object, I would say. So let's make this. I hit Alt G on the bottle because then I have the the null object exactly on this spot here. So Alt G, you see the null is now exactly on this bottle. Otherwise the null would be here when I make a new null. So bring this inside, and from the front here I take the bottle. Oops, back here. I want the null object, not the bottle. Rotate it. Look. And somewhere like here. Yeah. Okay. And now, of course, the fluid cannot be like this inside. What I do, I go to the fluid. Yep. And I cut it horizontally here. Whoops. So KJ for a plane cut, and here it's important. Check restrict to not restrict to select cuts, so that when I cut it, the cut will be selected. That's important here. So let's say this height about should work. Go all the way through and hold my shift key to have a nice horizontal line here. Okay. And why did I say this select cuts? Because now, let's go to the 9, you see our cut is selected here. And this helps us to select the upper parts I don't need. With UF, fill selection, we go to here, fill the selection, and hit delete. So now we have, this is our fluid now. Hide the bottle and you see we have our fluid. Save it. Good, the fluid does not look very nice now. First we need a top here, we have to close it. So this is quite easy. I make here a simple bridge thing, B for bridge in edge mode, and I bridge from here this small thing. It doesn't, maybe you did another cut that you can bridge from here to here. We need the first polygon here. So I bridge from here to this polygon here. Whoops, no, come on. Is this okay? Yep, that looks okay. And this looks okay. Yep. And now with MD, close polygon hole. MD. So I can close this polygon hole and this polygon hole. See this ugly artifact here? This is because of the Fong tag here. So, of course, now we would need here some, this is just the null here, so that if we want to make it like this, we would, okay, we wouldn't see this. This is out of sight here. But let's see how I prefer. What I did was I put this fluid in a volume builder and volume measure, and this would also get a nice object here. But let's try how this looks without the volume things. In the project file you have the correct way. So in the project file you have the way with the volume builder, not the correct way. The correct way is how you like it. And yeah, let's go to here and the Y. And give this a glass material. Bye bye. And here we can say delete unused materials. So, And here we want to put on and let's make here something. We have here the glass. Let's say this is the glass. This is the glass. So material. Then I make a copy. This is fluid glass, and drag it on the, or name it glass fluid like the object. Glass fluid. And make another copy. This is the bottle fluid. Because we have to texture them a little different. So the glass fluid I bring on this one, the bottle fluid I bring on this one, and the normal glass I bring on this bottle. Good so far, save it. And let's see what we get here. Yeah, we don't have to do so much. I think this could look okay. The bottle. Okay. Good so far. Now let's make the coming out. Let's make our coming out. Good. Why not? As I said, I made this with the volume builder and so, but we can do it like this as well, I think. Let's try it. It's not. I'm interested to if this works. I select both of them here. And hold my control key and drag it out. So, okay, something like that. This is our fluid, and make this on the top here T for scale, and scale this all a little down and scale a little down. Okay, and now I need a lot of subdivisions here because I want to bend this down here. So I make a loop selection here. Is UB, this is a loop selection. Select these edges, and now I hit sometimes MM. So to half. So MM, I get a cut here. MM. This should be enough. Oh, give us one more. MM. Okay. And here we need some. Let's see if we need. Maybe not. Now let's bring in an bend deformer, and do we see the bend deformer is this big thing here? So make the bend deformer smaller, T for scale. If you have an older version of Cinema, you won't see this error. This error shows just, which is great, shows us in which direction the bend works. So I know in this case the bend deformer has to go in this way because of the error. So in the older versions you just have to try it, which direction is the correct one. So E, and bring it up to here. T for scale, scale it again a little like this. And go to the bend deformer here. Let's see what is what. So, no. This is what I like. So, and try it. Bend deformer. That should work. Okay. Bring the bend deformer under our bottle fluid, otherwise it wouldn't work. this down. And keep length. So that looks a little better. This goes inside, so let's make it a bit different out here. It looks almost perfect. Maybe we need it a little more bended so that it goes straight down. Yeah, okay. And longer, I want that it touches the fluid here. And this is now like this. Go to this guy. Here you see we have selected this. The fluid I see we have the normal is wrong, so select the whole fluid and again UR to invert the normal. So okay, and now I select again this one and this one and make this simple a little longer. So T for scale. So let's see. Almost touches. E. Okay, little more. So we don't have to work with the volume builder and everything, it seems. Okay. That's okay, but this is everything a little sharp, and so we should bring it. Let's see how it looks when we bring this in a subdivision surface. I guess it does not look very nice. Okay. No, in the inside it's horrible, you see. This is not what we like. Yeah, this is the nicer thing with the volume builder. You can make a smoothing and something else. But we can try smoothing here as well. But I don't think that this gives us a satisfying result. Where is my smoothing? Every time I said, since 12 years I search for every tool here. It's like being blind. Come on, here is smoothing. That's not so bad. I think with this we can work. Okay, let's go back, bring back the bottle. We don't need the subdivision surface, so there is a thing called delete without children, so it just deletes the parent. Okay, and let's render this. That looks nice. That looks really nice. Okay, no volume builder needed. But the fluid doesn't touch here, so let's go back to the fluid. Drag it out, so something like this. Bring it back. Now it touches it. I think this is okay. Yeah, very nice. Save it. Now let's make the blue or make the bubbles? What do we first? Let's make the blue thing, because this is a little playing, so... Oh no, let's make the bubbles so we have all together, I think. But if we don't make the bubbles, first the blue, it renders faster. So let's make first the blue. Go to my glass flute here. And because I wanted the material editor, let's bring this material editor out here. Shift F12, node editor, group separator, and node editor. So I can open it like this. And yeah, now in the transmission I want the gradient, and I want it in Cinema 4D gradient, because here I have everything I need. Again, I save it because with displaying you easily can get a crash. So let's see where we have our thing. Okay, this definitely is a gradient here. You select both of them and drag it. You see, we don't get the gradient from up to down, so from down to up. We just get this, or we get this. So what we need here is a 3D gradient. Go to 3D linear. Here we have it. But this is X and X, Y and Z. And of course I need the Y-axis. 0, 0. And the glass is about, I don't know, 20 high or something. Let's try. Start at 20. Okay. Let's reverse it. No, not. So I have to invert gradient. Okay. And here, let's go to -10 maybe. -5. Up to 40. Serious? Nothing. This is very sharp. Why is this so sharp? Yeah, this is a little bit, you have to play around a little bit here. It looks funny. What do I start with? -20, so we get this. This is not. I want just that it's down here a little brighter. Yeah, we get there. Yeah, that's it. And of course now instead of the blue, of the black, we make this color we want. Red or this greenish blue, which I really like. This but of course this way to make it more pop out or something more crystal clear, we make them in Photoshop. But for now this looks really nice. It's again almost better than the original. I really like this. This I think. And let's make 180. And here 100. Because I didn't see that we are not on the end here. This is it. I think I like this. Let's try a little more. Let's go. What's when we start at 0? -50. -20 is exactly what we need. 10, 20. Oh, we are exactly there. Okay. And what we need now is we can't use the same, I think, for. Let's try it. I cannot really remember if I had used the same for the bottle fluid, but let's see. We simply try to bring this on this one. Oh, this is the wrong direction, you see. So let's make the bottle fluid. Or we can simply delete this, take this one, copy it over. Yes. Bottle. And drag the bottle fluid, of course, to the question mark, save it, and here we have to go in the X direction maybe. So, or here maybe we have to do nothing. Do we need a gradient here? I don't think so. If we take just the same color in the transition with an RGB spectrum here, we had 180, 100, 100. Yes, but I don't want it. It looks quite nice. Okay. We don't even need the gradient here. And let's bring in here some variation. So bring in a noise, save first. A noise. And an add node. I want to add the noise to this one. Add. So drag it here. Okay. Add the noise here. 300. Make it a little darker, right? Yes. Yeah, so we get a nice, and we could even give this in the bump channel as well. But in the bump, I want it not like this, maybe a little more, but it's okay. Let's copy this one here and drag it to the bump channel. Make this here white. That we have a little more bump with black and white. Do we see the bump here? We do not really see a bump. Maybe it doesn't take it because it's a noise here. So let's go to baking texture. Okay, we see here definitely some difference now. Give it ×2. And 1 here. And here. Go back to 0. I want to see something in here. Yeah, now I see that I have a little. Okay. As darker we go here, as more blue, as more color we will see. It's not really a blue. And that's so, it's okay. I like it like this. Okay, safe. You can play more, of course. So you are allowed to. And now let's make some bubbles in our glass. So, bubbles in our glass. We need some clones, of course, for the bubbles. Let's make a small sphere. 0.1 here. This is our sphere, and we clone the sphere and the glass fluid here. So sphere and MoGraph, Alt click on cloner with the sphere selected. In the cloners, let's see, this is bubbles, move please, and object. The object should be the glass fluid. But you see, it's now, I have it on a surface here, somewhere, a surface. This is not what I want. I want it in volume. This is inside the volume here. And this is inside the volume, which is nice. Okay. They have all the same size. This is not what I want, so let's bring in more. Let's make a render instance here, and let's see, 1000 bubbles. And you see, there goes something outside. Some of them go outside, which is not what we want. How do we bring that inside? First, I want to make a random effector for the bubbles, and just to change the sizes. Effector, random effector. The random effector, no, you don't take the colors. Give us a scale, uniform, absolute with -0.8, I want to say. So nice. I think the bubbles are too big here. Let's go to 0.7 or something else. Yeah. And I cannot bring them inside, because when I play here with the transform or something else, I can just bring them to the side here. Or there, this is the z-axis. But I cannot make them smaller. What I do is I make a copy of this glass fluid here. Control drag it outside. This is just glass fluid cloner. Don't need here anything. I don't even need to see it. And go to my cloner and bring down the cloner here and bring down the random effector so that I have them together. And the bubbles should be cloned now on this glass fluid cloner. And here we have this nice modifier. So we can go, of course, here in a minus direction. Let's say go to -0.1. See? -0.2, 3, and so I can go inside my fluid here. That looks exactly how I like it. Good so far. So, what do we need more? This is, I think this is it For this we are not ready. Bubbles. Let's see how this looks in the render. Save it. Render it. We definitely have bubbles in our scene here. In the render settings I want more depth in the specular, of course. Now let's go to 50. Okay. Or maybe we make this view a little bigger. 8. So that we see the bubbles a little better. Maybe we want more bubbles. 1500. We are on render instances, so it doesn't really matter how many we take. And I think this is almost too much, too many. Yeah, but when I make them smaller, then okay. Yeah, this is it. And now we of course need some bubbles on top of the fluid. And let's do this. We go to our fluid cloner here thing and go to the tips. Let's bring it in for a moment, and I want just the top of this here. Let's hide the class here for the moment. So I need just the top, so I select this for in the middle, and with UI I can grow the selection. 1, 2. This should be fine, I think. Yeah, this is maybe one more to get some of here too. Why not? We can change this later. We can just delete then later. UI. So okay, and again UP to split it. Whoops. So this is cloner top, and we don't need the pipes to make this. Do we need it? Of course we need it. What did I do now? Here's this is a fluid. Why is this so big? Let's go some steps back. It's always good to have many this is why is this now? We should bring this in a subdivision surface as well, of course. This is our pie thing here. Yeah, let's make this new. There's something wrong. I just take my class fluid here and drag it out, copy it, control, drag it out. That's fine. And I make this now the copy as so this is the copy, because bubbles, the cloner we named it. Sorry for this small mistake here. we go in the bubbles here, and this is our thing here. Okay, again, we need, of course, to bring this in the subdivision surface as well. So let's bring this down to here. Okay, this is everything nice. And we said we need to make it, we have to make it smaller, so that our bubbles are not outside. So let's go to here. Minus 0.2 is it? 0.3. 0.4, okay. 0.3 is okay. And now I have to bring this out here and bring this again in the subdivision surface here, so that we have the same shape here on top. So first I make this one object, so we have this -3, this is okay, and I want to say current state to object here. So we have this, and this is now has this modifier in it, so we can delete this guy here. We can delete this guy, this here, and I want to bring this in a subdivision surface. Now first I take all what I need for the top thing here. I don't understand. Let's bring this to the subdivision surface. You see, this is not correct here. Something is here I did wrong. Here is the same, yeah. It is the polygon selection. I think here it is okay. But when I go with this, we are at minus of in the total 0.02 or something, what it was, this was okay. But when I go in the minus direction, that does not really work. But we haven't seen it, we don't see it really with the bubbles, but you see, that makes this here. So here for the bubbles I am very doesn't matter for me. So this is the cloner. This works with the cloner, but for the top I take this here. Come on. I have a little. So now I take this. I delete this guy here, take just what I need here, UI, UP, to split it. Oops, back here. What's now? Come on. Not so fast. Now I have to go on top. And this I want to bring in the subdivision surface. So now I have the same like this top here. And this one I make as well current state to object simply, or don't need it. So let's go to the bubbles and bring this subdivision surface inside here. Now we need a second cloner for this. So this was wrong, so this stays. This is okay. I copy this one, bubbles top. So, and this will be bubble stop will be the subdivision surface 1. This does it not. Yeah, we have no volume here, of course. Good. Good. And so that's fine so far. We don't have to see this guy here. So maybe let's see it here, because we see what we have here. I want definitely more of them here on top. What, 2000? This is maybe okay. I want some randomization here in the y-axis so that we have more volume inside here. So I make another. This is the copy here, this guy here. Okay. And I need another random effector. Random Y. Okay. Here parameter, nope. Position, I think it is the Y. No. But let's go to this guy. Bubble stop, effector, random Y. And let's see which is this is the wrong one. Okay, this is the it is why, because we have this guy here. We will delete this one. UL and delete this guy here. So now it's in the Y. That looks like a lot of nice bubbles here on top. And we have to bring bubbles a little down so that they're not so far above the top here. So I go to this one, E for the move tool. Let's bring the axis back here. Shift C, center axis, so I don't have to search this. Center axis. Axis center, not center axis, okay. Execute, so now I have my axis here, and drag this a little down. So you see here is our fluid end. So something like that maybe. Let's play a little with the random here. You see we have two random effectors here. No, come on, not here in the bubble stop. Here's two, and one is for the Y, and the other one is for the whole thing. So let's go to the other one. Where is the other one? Here. Let's bring this here, so, and let's play a little with the seed. You see, we are out of the thing here. Why is this bottle fluid? Did I delete the? Oh, this is the bottle. We don't need the bottle. This guy here. We are on 0 here. That's the reason. Okay. Looks nice so far. Let's see how this looks in the render. I do not really see the bubbles here. and something changed here with the gradient as well. And why? Can you tell me why I don't see this bubbles here? We should see the bubbles. But they are not enough. I want to see more of them. Cloner. 2000. No volume, this is no volume, so that cannot be the volume. I want more of them. So 5,000 doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. Then give me 10,000. Don't be afraid. $10,000 is fine, I think. So, and they cannot be all in the same. In the middle, I don't want no bubbles, or at least smaller or less bubbles. Let's do this. Bubble stop. I will name this cloner so that I see it better. Only with the icons that can I always exchange the icons with the subdivision surface icon when you look quickly. Cloner. So now I see what is what. Cloner bubbles. Do you get an new effector, and this is the plane effector. Is it here? Yep, is it here? And the plane effector affects no color but the scale, and this is -1. No clones anymore. But with the nice fall off, we take a spherical fall off. And the sphere, so we have a 3 centimeter radius or something else. Okay. Where is our spherical fall? Here is it. We'll bring it up to here, to our cloner. And let's see what it does. Ooh. Look what this does. Remapping. And yep. Let's make this a little smaller, T for scale. This is, I think, this is what I like. Save it and render it. But why is this? This shouldn't be a big problem, but go to our gradient. This comes from the car, of course. This is in the glass. It's modified. 0.5. And now it intersects, of course. But if I 0.1, I make it in the minus direction. Let's see. You can decide what you like more, in the minus or in the plus direction. I think the plus direction is better here, but this, yeah, of course it reflects in the glass. I want to avoid this somehow, but it did not happen in my original render, so yeah, we will see when we render it. We will make a. Let's make a nice render here. Let's make here 1000, and let's render it in the picture viewer. Octane, yips. I don't need this magic bullet. Looks like I can't delete it. Current frame, everything is okay here. How can we get rid of this blue? And but it would. I think it's correct like this, but somehow I don't like it like this. The render is nice, there's no question about it. Of course, later on we play in Photoshop and play a little with the contrast, and you see we get a nice thing here. But I'm going to get rid of this guy here. Disable the filter here. and back to 200 here for the render. It is just the color, of course. When I go to here, this is nothing else. But let's see. Let's go to right here. That is weird. blue fluid from the bottle and the red in the glass. This is a great red. What if I see we have some blue bubbles? This is the blue from here. And yeah, this is the blue fluid. 180. How is it in my render? Yeah, in my render I have a different shape of glass. No, not really. Ah, maybe. Let's go to the glass fluid here. And let's solo it out here. So we have here a solo button. And need a make it different, make this like this, because I want the glass as well, glass and fluid. And maybe here in the fluid it's a little point mode. Just drag this a little down here. I think this should help. Not really. So let's go to here. Options. Don't check the camera. This is here when you turn this off, check camera. You can go outside of the camera and the render will stay. And we can work here. It makes no difference at all. No. And I thought I am so clever. Nope, I ain't. Glass and whoopsie. See what we can here do here. Okay, it's not the dispersion, it's good. Thin wall. No, that makes it worse. But it, yeah, it's okay, but somehow it disturbs me a little. And here is a blue thing. But the bubbles are inside the fluid here. We have some small issues here, which I did not have in the original one. You see this blue bubble here? Camera. Okay, from closer it does not look really nice, but interesting. Maybe, baby. It is the index of refraction. We go down here. Where we go up. It cannot be that it changes nothing, so we yeah, but it's not really natural. No, I don't want to go so far because this is not glass. Glass isn't that, has not this refraction. You see, when you go up to 4 or something, you start to get rid of this. But this looks not so bad. all. Is dry, is 3 enough? What is dry enough? This is Schwarzenegger style. Dry. Yeah, that's not so bad. Yeah, you decide. You can do it however you want. You see, you have to try. I think you will find your way. Maybe with a different rotation here. Does this? No, that changes nothing. No, it changes a little bit, but not a lot. But anyways, let's continue. Let's make now some copies of this glass. So this is the glass here. The thing is, we can of course make now instances of the glass. This is no problem. But we can't make instances of the bubbles. The bubbles, the cloner, you cannot instance a cloner. But let's first make the classes. So let's make here an instance. I was correct here. Instance. Let's take the instance and drag it somewhere like here. Okay. So let's make another instance. I want to drag something like that. Copy, so this we have the class here and the class instance here. Control drag down and make another instance, which we drag to somewhere like here. Okay. Maybe even more to the front. Okay, save it. And now we need some, the bubbles. What I did is, because you can't make this with the cloner, I took the bubbles cloner. The bubbles top cloner I don't need, because here it's burning in, and so the bubbles come, but these they stand a little longer, so they have less bubbles. So I take this cloner bubble and bring it in the connect object. But be careful. So when you make here a connect object, here is it's not so important because there is almost nothing to connect, so not to melt. But I have in my connect object as default weld off. So this is just for security, to be sure that when you have a let's say here lots of clones and they connect together, they touch each other, so they would be welded, and this could be a very, very hard calculation sometimes. So weld is off here for me. And if you want the same, just bring your connect. By default it's on. So bring your connect just in, disable weld, and then you go to edit, save as default. And then when you open again the connect, you will have it without the weld. So I bring the corona bubbles in this connect, and on the connect I say current state to object. So I have here bubbles. I can delete the connect here, so again delete without children. Okay, bubbles, bring this cloner bubble thingy on this class. So let's cloner bubbles, drag it down to here. So NQ here. I want here just lines. I don't want. We are on lines. Weird, because I see here shading. Alright, so center it to here somewhere. So should be fine. Let's see from the side. Okay, it's inside the glass here. It's inside the glass. Oh no, this was the wrong one, huh? This is the right one. But it's inside the glass too. And now we can make here a instance of these bubbles. Bubble instance. And now I can drag this instance to the glass here at the end. Whoopsie. So here it is totally not, don't have to be exact because this is in the depth of field, so you won't really see it. So okay, good. Speaking about depth of field, we need some. Go to the focus here, and I want to focus this glass, so I click on it. Glass is clicked. Go to my camera tag here, and here in the depth of field we have the aperture. Go up here. Okay, not quite a lot of depth of field, so almost a third of the table is unsharp as well. So okay, this looks quite nice. Here you see now we have to make this fluid a little bigger as well. So this is our bottle thing here. Where is our bottle? Here is our bottle fluid. Bend, smooth, all fine, but what we want as well is a pie thing like we have in this one here. So we can copy this down to our bottle fluid. See, we have plus, this should work. Control, drag it down under our bottle fluid. Still some issues. Maybe bring it after the smoothing. Let's see. Give it a little more. That should work normally. Let's see a big. Here is a polygon selection. Away with the polygon selection. Now it works. This is not what I want. And now it's away. Okay, this is what I want. Here maybe we have some. Let's make it 0.5. Okay. Good. The next step here is, what can we do here more in the camera? So here we can go to the camera. In the camera imager, we have some nice settings. What I liked in the picture like this is bringing in. We can add a vignette later on too, but the vignette here, when you bring it in, it looks nicer than the vignette you can make in Photoshop or something else. In Photoshop it makes it just darker, but here it affects the colors a little bit and says see if I need a saturation here. That's okay. Maybe a little bloom. Let's try a little bloom. And cut off. Just to see it a little bit, you see. Very slight, but it's here. I like this. Okay. Good. So far, so good. Now we could bring this to Photoshop. Of course, we need a nicer render. This is a very low render. I will render it. So let's make a render with 2000. This totally okay. Here nothing has changed. 720 is okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I don't think we need the noise here. But I'm always afraid when I use the noise that it could delete some of the bubbles here. So we can denoise it in post as well if you want. Good, I make a render here and get me something to drink. I'm back in a second. So we have our render here. It looks a little pale and so on, but as I said, we go to Photoshop with it. Good, so I go to copy and go to Photoshop. Control N for new file, and it's here with, no, this is the wrong one. Normally it should open when, let's do this again. Control as a copy. Normally if you have this, you Control C, then go to Photoshop, Control N, or now it's on 720, 720. Bring it in with 16-bit, create it, Control V, make a smart object out of it, and with Control Shift A we go to the camera raw filter, which opens on the wrong monitor. So come on here. Okay. Good so far. And now we can start the basics here. First I want to make some contrast here. And what I want is clarity. Makes everything very clear. And so it looks now, because we have it in the original as well, this thing. I had a look, and you see here we have exactly the same here. It's exactly the same like here. And okay. Yeah, maybe give it more texture here. Makes it even more crisp. You see it here. Look at this. But of course I get some grain in here, but we can get rid of this. So vibrance, but we don't need this because we have already very saturated picture. That's okay. The contrast is, and now we could add some little vignette as well here. So, okay, I am happy with this. Okay. And now I'm gonna get rid of this, but we almost don't see it. But when we want to denoise this a little bit, I make another convert to smart object, and in this make another Control Shift A raw filter. And now if we have a look at this grain here, we can go to whoop-de-doo, noise reduction, color noise reduction. This is, you just try it, color noise reduction. See, okay, there is enough, but noise reduction will give us the noise reduction we want. But you see, this is too much. It takes away the details here. This is, of course, not what I want. So what I can do is I just concentrate here how much noise reduction I need. So let's say something like this. Okay. And now I invert this mask with Control I. So we have no filter on it. And with a white, foreground color is now white. With a white brush, I can brush now in where I want this noise reduction. And I brush over it, you see, I get the noise reduction only on my desired objects. So noise reduction. Here maybe. Yeah, this is another thing. When you click here somewhere with the brush and then you go to any spot and hold the Shift key, it makes a straight line in between. So if you want to mask something like this, you have a straight line. If I should do some Photoshop tutorials as well, please let me know. But there are so many on the net, I don't think that we need even more. So let's see if the mask is filled out nice. With Alt click on this, I see my mask, and so I can easily refine it where I think I have to refine it. So okay, the last two, and I'd click on this. So, and now we have this, which looks nice. Because now we can try with some adjustments with, let's see, hue saturation maybe. Let's play a little with it. So we can change the color of our wine. Because all other things are black and white, we can easily change this, of course. And here we can get, oh, this is a nice color. I think this is the color I have in my original, huh? Yeah, exactly. Great. Yeah, and we have our nice picture here. Yeah, I really like it. It's nice. And now, because we have a sharper picture and everything, this does not disturb anymore. Maybe we can make the blacks a little blacker. Blacks a little blacker. I double click on my smart object here. So I come in another folder, and this is the folder with our first things what we did. So with our basic things with contrast and everything. Maybe we can go to here and bring in more contrast here, shadows. Okay. Okay, yep. And now I close this, but I have to say now, yes, please save it. And that changes it then here as well. So we have now here changed the darkness as well. Okay. I am happy with this picture. So, and now let's continue and let's make the same with the physical render. So for all people they just interested in the Octane render, it's over here. But maybe you should fast forward to the end, because I have to say something there at the end always, you know, and maybe it's something interesting for you as well. And but the only thing I can say is, if you want to donate, you will find a link in the description, and think about Christmas time. And if you want to support me on Patreon, where you can download all the project files and textures and other downloads, yeah, you will find a link in the description as well. So for the Octane renderer people, they don't like to continue. Bye bye, have a nice day, and fast forward. So let's go to physical render. We can keep this for now, because it's the nice thing with the smart object, we can exchange the picture later and don't have to make the same thing again and again and again and again and again. So save this. What do we need? We don't need you, we don't need the camera tech. It doesn't matter how the camera is named, but bye bye. We don't need anything up here. We make this from scratch new. Yeah, we make this new from scratch. Bye bye. Okay, let's start with physical render. We need a glass material, which is in physical render the same easy as the Octane render. We need this script, Nikomedia script, and delete Octane Rig. Bye bye. I need a sip here. Okay. Glass material. Double click in our material manager here, and we need just transparency, and we have a glass. That's it. And if we drag this on our glass here, and let's hide them. Do it for the moment. So we should see something here, but for sure nothing nice. So let's go here from Octane to low GI. When we go to low GI, we will see literally nothing. So let's bring in the interactive render, not the arena region. I want the, oh yes, interactive render region. Shift F12. Interactive render region here, and drag it in here. So okay, we will see nothing. There is nothing at all, because we have no light in the scene, we have nothing to reflect in the scene, blah blah blah. So what comes in? The Nikomedias Scene Rig, of course. You are right. Whoop. User scripts, Nikomedia scripts, and somewhere is my insert rig. and we should see boof. Yeah. So we can delete the, here is same, we delete the floor, and we don't need a background, we don't need nothing here. And what we need is in the hard HDRI settings, seen by camera. This is what we need here. And of course we need the correct HDRI here. Do I have it open still? Yes, this is this one. Going. Oh, why not? Bring it to where I have it. In Octane it is a little easier to do things like this because we see it, what we do. And here we don't see it. Here is everything off. This is okay. I could bring the same here maybe in the background pictures. I would see it, but I can do one thing. This is the preview here. This is far too big, I think. We see nothing. Of course we see nothing. NQ to bring the textures back. Stupid me. Yeah. I'm getting old, people. Yes. So same like before. Okay. And this looks almost better than in Octane, in my opinion. Here we can make maybe the fluid a little bigger. Let's see. Translate here. 0.2. Does this change nothing? The glass fluid is off. Why do I see it here? The other one is just the cloner, I think. But we shouldn't see the cloner. So this works. We were here at 0.02, I think. This is now the correct thing. Let's go to 0.1. Let's go here to, let's disable it here for in the physical render. And now we have the exact same. And when we go to minus here, because this can be different. I think this looks better here with minus. So okay. Look, we have a very nice glass here. I still love the physical render as well. Like I always say it. Let's go to here and in the low GI thing. Let's go. The progressive is here. It renders until you say stop rendering, so it never stops to render itself. And this is the way you get the quickest response for a render. So this is optimal if you test something. But sometimes when you're like me, I forget that the render is running. So I go to fixed here, and now I know after these 3 sampling subdivisions, it's done. So it does not look like so good, but I see what I want to see. Good. So now we go. We need this is the glass material. Now we need a glass fluid, so make a copy of this. And here we do this thing with the gradient. Glass fluid. See, it looks better than in Octane. But I haven't tried in Octane to make the fluid smaller than the glass, but normally you'd have to intersect. And for the glass we can bring this on the bubbles as well. Bubbles. And here again, bubbles. Yeah. Look at these nice bubbles. Bubbles top. Okay. Then we need a glass on the bottle as well. I have always waited a little bit because the render runs. Nice, nice, nice. And we copy this. This will be the glass fluid and the bottle fluid. How did you call it? Yeah, bottle fluid. Bottle fluid. Okay. Bring this on the bottle fluid. The gas fluid cloner is okay. We don't need anything on the cloner here. Good so far. Now let's make this gradient thingy. Go to transparency. Bring in the texture here gradient, of course. Let's see what the gradient gives us here. You see it immediately. This is this. If you can make such a drink with you're you're a good barkeeper. So here we have the same, I think, yeah, exact the same behavior. So let's go to not linear, yeah, to city linear. Yeah, that's it. So let's bring this. And we had, if I could remember. I think we started with -20 to 0. Do I see this without? Yeah, I see something here, so that makes it a little easier. Dark on top. Okay, let's make it blue. So and let's see what we get. Of course, with the glass, the physical render isn't that quick. So let's go with the little up. But what we can do, we can make just this one glass here, so we don't have to render the whole thing here. That should give us a little quicker response. Okay. This is displaying. Yeah, great. Could give it a little turbulence. Okay, with the turbulence we go back. You see here it starts again, so we have to turn this off. And this is always this try and error, but it's worth it. Yeah, look at this. We're getting there. In older versions you can do this with the selections, but so you have to do it manually, but yeah, no. Little left. Think now. It should be what I want. Yep. But I think I leave it without turbulence here. And now I can start from beginning. Yeah. But we see nicely where we are. Looks better without turbulence, I think. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what I want. Okay. Now we need something for the bottle. Whoop. Whoop. Let's go to the bottle and give it just the color. Maybe this is enough if we are lucky. No, this is. But here we could play with the absorption color. It is 100 here. So this will do nothing for the moment. But if smaller we make this number here, there's more color we should see. Yeah. It looks more like silk here. Yeah, this is better. This is much better. 3. Okay, now let's give it a little bump here. I said a little bump, and here something different, like cautious, and let's make this quite big here. Yeah, that's perfect. So, and what we can try on the glass, for the glass here, an adaptive here, but I think this is too much reflect. You see the difference here on the preview, but you can try it if you like it. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it's just too much. I'm not sure. I think it's too much. Let's go down here to 1.5 samples. We don't need to have a nice render, we just want to see something quick. Yeah, that's much easier to see what we have. And again, adaptive. You have to decide for you. I like it without the adaptive. Okay, we are done here. And now we need, of course, texture for the table. Shift F8. And we have the same thing like in the thing. We have fear in the stone. Disable the IP, the IRR for now. Come on. I want to disable you. And I want to save. Okay. Disk, name it table. And drag it onto here. So, again, let's see what we get. We can make this, we have a quick render now. Okay, our disk, because this displacement works different. And we know on our table we have here not as many subdivisions. Here you see we need some subdivisions in this side as well. So go to the table and give it some disk segments. Let's go up here and let's see. Can be quite a lot. This is, doesn't matter. This is our only thing here. As more segments we give it, as nicer the subdivision will be. And render it again now. You will see it's much better now with the subdivision. Go to the displacement. We have here 2 minutes. 0.5 should be fine. It's even a little less. And let's go to 50%. Okay. And now color. Here we don't have this what we have in Octane with the float and normal for the black and white. Here we have to make a layer shader. You see here we can do almost nothing to bring out this. So I go to make a layer shader here, layer, and go inside, and in here in the effects we have a saturation, use saturation lightness, and here I can bring back the saturation. And now it should be black and white, and it is black and white. We can make this even a little darker with another effect with the gamma, always the wrong direction. Yep. And for the background it's the same. With the rig it's easy. You go to the HDRI settings, and here we have saturation. We break this saturation to -100. And it should work, but it does not. Why does it not work? Reflection saturation. Now it is. Yep. The first one is just for the saturation in the reflections, and then the second one is for the picture. Shouldn't be different. No, I have to see what I did here. Anyways, so it works here. So that's it so far. But it looks kind of, we have some red thing. It looks there is some color still. I did not see this in my original one. Saturation is colorize it. I didn't colorize anything, so this shouldn't make any difference. But I always try everything. But maybe it's just me, maybe this isn't. But it looks like there is some red or something else inside. And it's a little strange. Yeah, we could definitely make this black and white and Photoshop this picture and then bring it inside, but I am not sure if it's me or is it a little red. It looks a little red for me. Let's see if we can bring this out somewhere. Let's go a little down with the camera to 0.5. Then we should see this better. Yeah, it's definitely still color inside here. Maybe it's because of the gamma. What if I bring this first and then the saturation on it? Does nothing. I thought it will change this and then the saturation does not. With the gamma at 1 it's black and white, so we'll make this in Photoshop. That is definitely black and white. Or not. No, it's still a color inside. That's interesting. I did not see this in my original one, or I did not watch out for this. Can I? Let's see if this changes anything now. custom. Nope. The black and white part does nothing as well. This cannot make it, you know, a difference normally. No. Well, what we could do, we can make a black and white picture, but it's very easy, of course. So when I go to the, let's go to bring this to the photo, to Photoshop, and here, let's check, and here somewhere, images, black and white. Whoops! And this is now definitely black and white. So here we can bring out some the reds what we're in. So okay, I saved this under black white diff. Yeah, do whatever you want. Yeah, do whatever you want. So, and drag this guy inside here. Then we cannot have any problems. This is definitely black and white then. Look, it's still red. We have a black and white picture in here. Yeah, bring it out of the layer and clear this. It's still red inside. Where comes the red from? That's crazy. We have a black and white picture here. There is no red at all. Let's save this and PNG or something else. Or I make a simple JPEG. 12 is okay. Maybe this gives us less color information with the JPEG. No idea. This is still the same. Oh, it's. But we are here on normal, so this should make no difference. See, when I go to here, this does nothing as long as you're here on normal. And it looks that the preview looks as well colored. What is it? Ah, I have it. I have the reflection. That's my yeah. Of course, here in the reflection, I have the same. Yeah, so we. Yeah. Totally. So let's bring in the original one. So let's bring this one inside. Yes. Now I go make a layer shader. Sorry for this. I slept too less, I think. Effect. Black and white, reflectance. I could disable it, but I'll do the same here. Or what's even easier, copy this layer and paste it here. So now I have definitely a black and white picture. So this is black and white. Oh man, I tell you, this is Yeah, why I do such complicated textures? Why do I have a reflection, a texture in a reflection? Yeah, because it looks better, but then you should change both. Now, okay, let's make this a little gammely 0.8. Yeah, now it works. Now it works like it should. So bring in some depth of field. First, when we use depth of field, don't forget in your render settings, go to physical and turn on depth of field. Otherwise, you wouldn't see anything. In the camera, we have still our focus distance here from the Octane render. But if you don't have it, just go on this small arrow and click wherever you want. So on the glass in this case. Then we go to physical, and as smaller this f-stop number is, as more depth of field you will get. You see it starts already with depth of field because we are very close and we have a very small scene here. So when you go to 10 here, it should be, but when I go, let's say go to 5 here. I said as smaller the number, as more depth of field we get. It's quite a lot depth of field, but that's maybe too much, huh? 6, I go to 6 and make a nicer render, and I'm back in a second for you. So, and here's our render with middle settings, so you have, of course, some grain, but you see we have a very nice render here. And if we put this now, copy it, and put this in our Photoshop thing, this we don't need. Just I double click on the layer here, and now double click again so that I don't have any. This is the raw from Octane render. I bring in here with Control V. This is our raw from physical render. You see, this is Octane render. This is oopsie. This is Octane render. This is physical render. Know what we no, that's the same. Octane physical. Yeah, of course it's a difference, of course, but honestly, look at the bubble. This is much better here in the physical. And now, if I close this, say yes. The filter, but this is far too much here now, so we have to change here the filter. If you missed the part from Octane where I did the Photoshop part, just go back a little bit, rewind, and you will see it. And here you have to change something. Go back, breaks back to 0, shadows back to 0 here. The contrast is so, and the texture here has to go back. The clarity a little bit, something like that. Because we have a very grainy thing here. But here's we could do this the same with the detail here with the noise reduction, but and brush it out where I did it. You see, I showed it before. So and let's say this is okay, and close this. Yes, and then comes to here, and this is now. You see here we have this noise reduction when we disable it. Oh, you see here we have noise. Anyways, I don't want to make the same thing again, what we did for Octane, so just rewind if you haven't seen it. And for the Photoshop part. Okay. I will make some timestamps in the description there you can see what you need. We can make now, let's say everything. Control Shift Alt and E is one of my favorite shortcuts. Control Shift Alt E brings all the layer to one layer, and here again I can convert this to a smart object. And let's say here I make my, oops, I don't want to go in here, so Control Shift A, and let's make here the detail, the noise reduction, something like this. Okay. You see, this is very unsharp, so Control I invert this, so this has no effect. And now again with a white brush I can brush in where I want this effect. So when I say I want here less noise, or here you see less noise, wherever I want less noise I can brush it in. And here, okay, so something like that. With X you can exchange the colors here, X, and so I can bring some back when I want, so with the black color, because here I like this. Now I have here no noise, and this looks quite nice now. No, this is see, so you see the mask here how it looks now. And here I don't want it, so I go over. This looks too blurry, but it looks blurry because of X, because of the depth of field. For the moment, this is okay. But you see, I don't want to have, yeah, this is okay. X, I don't want to have it blurry here, like that takes everything away, every texture. This is not what I want. Go back. That looks much better. Okay, maybe. Okay, that's it. And again, I can make this Control J, or make this again. It's a smart object. Control Shift A, bring in, make again a little vignetting inside. Here's a little more contrast. And you will get a nice picture with the time. Look at this. Okay, physical render with middle things, with middle settings. Okay, that's it for now. I hope you liked the tutorial. It was a little, I don't know how long, but maybe a little long. But it takes its time. So when you show it for physical render and Octane render, and if you show it really so that everybody should understand it, it just needs a little longer. And then sometimes I make some mistakes and yeah, or forget something. I'm a little confused or something. This happens sometime. But anyway, I hope you liked it. The next tutorial will be one of the animated ones. So maybe this caged sphere what I did, or what did I do as well? So this sculpture with the fracture object and something else. And yeah, I'm a little busy now because I try to go deeper into Houdini now, and yeah, that's quite a lot to do. But when we are lucky, we have the first quarter of next year, maybe Houdini tutorials as well. And as I said, if you want some Photoshop tutorials or something else, let me know. But as I said, this is there are so many Photoshop tutorials on YouTube and everywhere. I'm not sure if this is necessary. But if you want it, of course, I will do it. Good. This year we will get another. What is the date? 14 days. Yeah, for sure. I will say we will get 2 or 3 tutorials more this year, and then we will see what next year brings us. And I will make a review I don't know when, about the Space Mouse, but I'll tell you more when I have it. And yep, that's it for now. Have a wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever. You see, it's 6 p.m. here now. And stay healthy, stay safe. And what's more? Nothing more to say. If you have requests, complaints, or whatever, write it in the comments. Facebook site, Facebook group, website, drums, whatever, smoke signs, whatever you want. And good. Nice. Good. All the best here from Austria, from Vienna, and I think I have nothing more to say for now. Bye bye, tschüss und baba.